Hold me close and hold me fast, the magic spell you cast.
To live is to taste, to raise to the lips a glass of sweet Georgia wine. Nestled in the North Georgia foothills, a rare class of East Coast winemakers are giving California something to whine about. A wanderlust for wineries steered chauffeur Pierre and me first to the land of the frog, Frogtown Cellars. Frogtown owner Craig Kreitzer was a successful Atlanta lawyer until the late 90s, when an itch to do something different led him to farming grapes. He and his wife Sydney found a special place to break ground.
Frogtown was named by the Indians while a CE place of the frog. We do have an American Indian buried on the property who fought in the American Revolution. And we have papers stating that it was referred to as Frogtown not too long ago when he was listed in the Army.
You wouldn't expect to find romantic French ideals afoot in the Dahlonega countryside, but Craig and Sydney attribute Frogtown's status as the most awarded non-California winery in the country to a very French notion known as terroir.
It means a sense of place. It involves, yes, the soil, yes, it involves the weather. But when people buy and drink Frogtown wine, we want them to recognize that it is grown and made not only in Georgia, but at Frogtown.
Being the Georgia wine purist that he is, Craig employs a tri-level gravity flow system at Frogtown, where nature itself pulls the wine through the winemaking process. It was time to get to the bottom of an actual wine glass.
You should aerate your wine a little bit, and if you put it on a flat surface, you just twirl it, and that's all the aeration you need in a wine.
You're saying aerating is important because the wine has been bottled. It's suffocating.
That's right.
It needs to breathe.
So the first one we're going to drink is a Chardonnay. This Chardonnay is barrel fermented, aged for over a year in the barrel. Lift up the glass by the stem.
From the stem.
Take a smell before you drink.
Oops.
Take a smell.
It smells like wine. Committing the smell to memory. Now,
okay.
may I?
Sure,
All right.
sure.
To you, Craig. What makes it different? Why is it so palatable compared to when I normally drink these wines?
In order to really enjoy white wine, it can't come right out of the refrigerator at 38, 39, 40 degrees. It really should be at 55 degrees.
The next white wine to take the stand on Craig's bar was his Petit Manseng, another French grape varietal grown among Frogtown's 23 grape types. I aerated it. I'm gonna smell it.
Smell it, the aroma.
Definitely different from the first.
Called the nose.
Smells like heaven. All right, tasting. Is that drier?
Could be a little drier. It depends how.
My palate is working. Keep them coming, bartender.
Do you want to go red?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Go red or go home. Smelling it?
Okay, well, let's put it down on the.
Oh.
You got to get it by the stem.
Oh my gosh, I'm already breaking all the rules.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna re-aerate.
Okay.
Go back to step one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you nose the aroma.
Very grapey.
Okay.
Is that a
fruity,
word?
Maybe.
Okay, grapey.
How about fruity?
Fruity. Sure.
It's supple, and good quality red wine should be supple. And we have one other red wine we'd like you to try.
Okay.
Bravado's only been in the bottle about a year, whereas Propaganda is approaching 2 years in the bottle.
So this wine is almost a toddler. Let's taste it.
Almost a toddler.
I like them all. It was hard to leave the Kreitzers and their fine wine behind, but this sommelier wannabe had one other successful family winery to explore, owned and operated by Bob, Jane, and Eric Miller. And what I stumbled upon next was anything but sour grapes. They may pride themselves on their winemaking, but they're no slouches at live entertainment. Without further ado, here they are, the Miller Family Band.
9 years ago, we found these 200 acres, and a friend of mine said, what are you going to do with 200 acres? Why don't you plant some grapes?
I just had to taste the fruit of Bob's labor.
Now, there is a dump bucket here, but we call that alcohol abuse.
What's that for?
I don't know. Occasionally, people don't want to drink all of the glass.
What? That's preposterous. So is this a little fruity?
Did it taste fruity?
A little bit. Not as dry as I'm used to a Chardonnay being, maybe?
If that's what you're tasting, that's exactly right.
Okay, good.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
If you go to a fancy restaurant, the sommelier will come around and use all these big words and big terms, and they try to intimidate you. That's not what wine is all about. Wine is, if you like it, it's good wine. If you don't like it, it's not very good wine. It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. The only winery on the East Coast that we know of that's using concrete to ferment their Sauvignon Blanc. Concrete imparts no flavor. It's just the pure flavor of the grape that comes through, but it gives a very smooth mid-mouth. It's called a viscous mid-mouth. I don't like wines that bite you on the front end. I like wines that just... I want something that feels velvety smooth.
Like winemaker, like wine, even in the reds category.
This is our flagship wine. This is the wine that we're known for. We sell more of this than anything. We put all the money into this wine.
It's not too heavy. Again,
it's
nice and light, doesn't hurt going down. I also sampled Yonah's dessert wine, Le Fin, and a sweet one it was. But Bob was stealing me for the grand finale, his best wine. Totem. It's pretty potent. That's how I would describe it.
It's strong.
Potent. Yeah.
You drink pretty fast.
I do. They were gonna go back downstairs right after I take a nap. Equal parts businessman and showman, Bob plays the impresario quite well. Step right up, ladies and gents. He'll give you the old razzle-dazzle during his famous cave tour. The cave. There's wine in this cave.
There's wine in this cave. Also, if you notice on the floor down there, we have the only high-heel proof grates in the state of Georgia. You can walk on those with high heels and not have any problem.
Really? Let's give it a shot. I feel like I'm getting to walk the line here.
There you are.
Look at this. Bob regulates cave conditions at 60 degrees, 70% humidity for the purposes of aging and reducing loss to evaporation.
That gray box right up there kills mildew spores. We're the only winery on the East Coast with an International Space Station spore killer.
And if you're favored, you may even get an exclusive look into Bob's private room, a wine library typically reserved for special occasion tastings. The moral of this story is quite clear. I don't always drink wine, but when I do, I drink Georgia-grown wine.